and hit that beautiful. That's not it. That's it. That's the music you want.
Yeah.
That's the music. Right there. Boom. You hear that music, you know you're in for a good show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Weird Frequencies. Hosted by Hardcore Rob Hansen. Rob, unfortunately, is off tonight. There, I'm hearing an echo because I just realized I still got the YouTube link up. There we go. It's kind of awkward. I was like, wait, why is Adam suddenly talking like me? But anyways, I'm Tyler. Joining me as always is, of course, the seeker of knowledge, the Juggernaut, Adam. Rob has a night off. We did not have a show last week. I am not going to explain why, but I am going to leave that for Rob if he decides he wants to share that information with the audience.
It's a family matter. That's
Yes.
all we're going to say.
It's a family matter. That's all that will be said. Rob is fine. Rob is good. But it was a family matter, and unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to post an update. That's on me. That's on me. I usually handle the updating the info thing on Facebook, and I've been very busy as of late, so I apologize for that, and I apologize to Rob, and I apologize to you, Adam, because I've dropped the ball lately, so I'm sorry.
Come on, TJ. Don't make Rob write you up again.
Did you just call me TJ?
Yes.
How
I'm
you know
sorry,
what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry
I'm
about
sorry.
it. No, you're
It's
good. You're
fine.
good. You don't need to apologize. It's fine. And for those of you who don't know, Adam does another show. He does a show. Adam's kind of like Mr. Podcast on Sundays. He does another show on Sunday nights called it's Mayhem's Amigos.
Right.
And it's hosted by a former person I used to work with as well. And they run that show shortly before us. And unfortunately, this week he did get some bad news. If you want to know more about the situation going on that show regarding one of the cast members, go back and watch that show at Mayhem Unleashed or Mayhem Unleashed on Facebook, or it's Mayhem Unleashed on YouTube. I think it's Mayhem Unleashed on YouTube. I'm not going to say. That's for Adam's show and for TJ, the host of that show, to explain. So all I know is that I'm feeling bad for him. But anyways, let's cut that music off. Adam, other than this today with the news you've gotten, how's your weekend been?
All things considered, it's gone pretty well. We went to, Julie and I went to a town around us, had a fair. It's Julie's hometown in Morrisonville.
Oh,
Tiny
nice.
town. So a great fair. Everyone from the town was there. So, I went to a town where I knew absolutely nobody except for Julie and one of her friends.
Right.
So, yeah, it was pretty good. It was nice to get some, adult interaction and stuff, and you can't really complain. The news we shared on Amigos, though, kind of threw us for a loop.
Mm-hmm.
If you want some news about it, you can check my Facebook page or check Mayhem Unleashed page. There's a GoFundMe there that explains. And if you want to donate. If you don't, that's fine too. But every little bit helps.
Yeah, I was talking to Adam backstage about the situation, but like I said, we'll leave that for the other show. So yeah. Another thing too is there is I don't know if you guys have heard this stuff or not, but there is a shit ton of solar storms hitting the earth currently.
Yeah, I've actually I've heard quite a bit about that.
There is a lot of solar storms. They're talking like we could probably start seeing another round of Aurora Borealis. I think this week is what they're talking.
Really?
Yeah, and I think didn't we just have
there's a 4% chance of that.
Well, yeah, 4%. But also, I thought
it's not nothing.
Wasn't this weekend also the Perseid meteor shower? The Perseid meteor shower is one of the closest meteor showers we get to Earth. And it happens in August. And I think it was this weekend. Let me look. Let me look this up real quick. We got plenty of news to go over tonight. Just give you all a heads up if you're fans of Bigfoot. No, it's tonight.
Tonight's the meteor shower?
Yes, tonight's the peak of the meteor shower, according to CNN. And tonight's Persei meteor shower may be dipped in the Aurora Borealis. Hi, Bubba. Now, I don't normally go. Now, I don't normally go to this site because they do exaggerate the news and they're a little biased, in my opinion. But CNN's even talking tonight is the Persei meteor shower. Okay. So, if you want to see, and I got to go out one year to my buddy's farm who lives just outside of town. There's very little lights, very little, as they're calling it, what is it?
It's light pollution.
Light pollution. Thank you. There's very little light pollution where we went and saw it. And quite literally, we saw all types of shooting stars. It was amazing. This is a couple of years ago. So if you want to go out and see it, make sure you go out into the middle of the area that has very little light pollution, far away from cities, small towns, stuff like that.
Get yourself a friend with a farm.
Yeah, get yourself a friend with a farm that has very few lights on. Get a lawn chair, take some bug repellent, obviously, and enjoy the show. And I know, let's see, this year is optimal for watching the shower because moonlight conditions will not wash out faint meteors, allowing viewers to absorb both bright and dim ones. Whoever this Cook guy is, I'm guessing he's a scientist, Cook Venus of NASA. You'll be able to get in the entire shower this year. He said, pointing out that last year's moonlight conditions kind of shut down the show and obscured dim meteors. So yeah, if you're really into astronomy, I've got several friends who are in astronomy. I got several friends who love this kind of stuff. Go, and that's a ad for
Infinity.
The Infinity. Go out, go find it. Trust me, it'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good to see. Bubba's even saying the best is after midnight, after the moon sets. Bubba is 100% correct on that one.
Yeah.
Once the moon sets, you will have the ability to see exactly what's going on with the Persei meteor shower. So, well, I know we normally go live about 8:30. We ran a little late. That's on me. I was spending time with family. I just got off work. And, of course, naturally, we didn't have a show last week. So we have I went through and I picked out the creme de la creme, I guess you could say. And there was a lot this week. There was a lot. By the way, I still haven't had a chance to finish up. I've got all the information. I just haven't had a chance to work on the Philippine Sea UFO battle that supposedly happened during Operation High Jump. So that is coming. I haven't had a chance to work on that, so don't worry. I will get that going. Hopefully, we might be able to debut it next week.
Yeah, you have to just find some time.
Yep, find some time. Do it when I want to try and do it when Rob is on the show. Maybe we can actually get Bubba in here. Bubba.
Yeah, it'd be nice if Bubba would, join us on this show when he's always on Best Damn Podcast. You can see him there. But we want to see him here too, other than just have him as a researcher.
Yeah, that's true. So, by the way, I do also want to take this time. The Illinois Times Best Podcast Awards just came out. Weird Frequencies, unfortunately, did not make the nomination, but I'm going to write them in anyways. I want Rob to get the recognition. I love doing this show with Rob. I love doing the show with Adam. I love doing podcasts. I love doing my show, and I love doing this show, and I want both shows to get the recognition. So,
okay.
So yeah, because I just popped that up, and sure enough, there is there's of course a message from another podcast saying vote for us while he's going into surgery. We wish you best of luck on that, Ray. Yeah, I'll just say it because he's been on this show and everybody likes him. We want to and I'm pretty sure I speak for Rob Hansen as well. We want to send a special shout out to Ray Lytle. He's going into surgery tomorrow for a surgical condition.
Is he going in for gastric? Is that what he's going in for?
I'm not sure what it is he's going in for. if you follow Morning Disaster, the man has lost a ton of weight. If you look back from 2020, when he first started that podcast back up, to now, you can see the difference. It's like night and day.
Yeah,
Literally,
he
the
has
guy
lost quite a bit of weight.
Oh yeah, and I mean, by all means, keep going. And I'll go ahead and put this out there because I guess he's trying to find goals, as he calls them, to try and say, "Well, I weigh less than this person."
Yeah,
Ray, if you're watching, I weigh 245. I want to see you weigh less than me.
Yep.
Get to it, buddy. Get to it.
I weigh 235. I'd be your goal after that.
There you go. You gotta catch up to me. You gotta catch up to me, and then you can catch up to Adam. There you go. Get to it. We hope you for a speedy recovery. We hope everything goes well for you. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, other than that, I got a lot of news that I think Adam is, because everybody knows Adam is almost 100% skeptical. And there's been a couple videos where me and him have butted heads on in regards to.
Well, we've definitely had to agree to disagree.
Oh, there was one time I was so aggravated with you because I'm like, dude, that's clearly a UFO. And you're like, now, Tyler, that could be a drone. But we do have several articles to go over tonight in regards to the news. We're going to do just a quick overlap of the news for everybody. And then we're going to go from there. So, my computer's being slow. Bear with me. Here we go. All right. First up, Adam. It's time to put your video expertise to work. I see Julie saying prayers going to Ray. Obviously, prayers going to Ray. Good luck with your surgery. Bubba saying I can enjoy sometime. Hurting tonight. I went to see a band last night. I'm paying for it today. We'll forgive you, Bubba.
This
all right,
time.
So, yeah, we'll forgive you. Adam's going to write you up next time if you don't pop on the show.
No, I don't have that authority. That's Rob's authority.
That's Rob's authority, yes.
Tyler's already gotten one write-up already.
By the way, I'm a little upset. The last time you guys did a show, you were talking about the Bigfoot game.
Yeah.
I watched this. I was in the chat room watching this. The game, I don't have the footage of it, but that game makes Bigfoot's walk so painful.
I know. Like knees to chest and
oh yeah, like I even tried my best. I was just screwing around. I was watching the show on break, and I sent this in. This is my best attempt to try and recreate that walk. Let me tell you something. That is hard on your knees. My knees were instantly buckling like, oh God, I'm going to pay for this. All right, so let's get to it. There's a new video going around on the internet about a curious bell-shaped UFO spotted moving in the daytime around the skies of Austrian state in Volborg on Thursday, August 1st. The witness, who's only going by the name of Jabusi, Jabusi, Jabusi.
Okay.
That's literally the name they're using. Noted that while it's not unusual to see hot air balloons in the area, this object did not seem to have that kind of shape. The hidden underbelly, which is a website, also shared and pointed out how it's very reminiscent to a rumored Nazi Bell UFO from World War II era. Now, the UFO they're talking about, supposedly there's two things. One, there was the Z bombers, which is part of the Operation High Jump stuff I've been researching.
Okay.
And the second thing is that supposedly there was another vehicle they had called Die Glocker, which somehow was some type of, the best way to describe it, it's like the rumors of Die Glocker was a antimatter device that the Nazis had somehow either developed or built, and people exposed to the energy Die Glocker gave off, supposedly their blood turned to crystals, and this thing somehow had the ability to travel through time.
Okay.
Yeah, if that is not the plot to the next Indiana Jones film, I don't know what it is.
If it just ended with you saying it turned their blood into crystal, okay, maybe. But then you threw time travel in there.
Yeah.
Nope, you done lost the plot.
I know. I'm just going on. This is what it's reported that Die Glocker was. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get to the video where supposedly somebody believes this unidentified object that was videotaped looks similar to either a Nazi super weapon or a Nazi plane.
Okay.
All right. So this is in Götz, Austria. There it is.
Wait a minute. Is that the TARDIS? That is a fast-moving TARDIS. Just saying.
I want to make a joke right now, but holy shit, I don't want to get this show canceled. You can probably piece it together, but fuck Doctor. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but now that you say that, I can't fucking say. It's the blue police box, right? That's the time. That's what the TARDIS is. Yeah, now I can't unsee that.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or it's Bill and Ted's little time travel device.
Which also was a phone booth, if I recall.
Or it's Willy Wonka's glass elevator.
Which I think also was a phone booth.
Kind of.
All right, is this another angle here? All right, here's another angle of it. That's kind of the same angle. I think it's the original video.
Yeah.
It's a TARDIS. we cracked the case, guys. And Julie's like, it's absolutely the TARDIS. There we go. Cracked it. It's David Tennant flying in to save the day by running away in the opposite direction.
An apple a day does not keep the doctor away.
Oh, we're going to lose half our audience with Doctor Who jokes. I guarantee it. I mean, it's bell-shaped, obviously, but...
Well... I don't know that it's bell-shaped, really. I mean, the top is kind of has a dome, but after that, it's just straight up and down. So you can't tell if it's curved around the front or around the back.
It looks like it's got a little something dangling down here. I can't tell. I mean... The person who posted this video also said that hot air balloons are not an uncommon sight. What if this is just a Doctor Who hot air balloon that got loose? So technically, you and Julie, you and your wife are correct.
Yeah. It's like, okay, with cameras nowadays on phones, can we not have a person who has a 200 megapixel camera zoom in on this? Someone, please, who has a Samsung phone.
Yeah, this was clearly shot on an iPhone, an inferior cell phone.
It's an old iPhone, like an iPhone 6. 7.
Yeah, now here is Die Glocker. This is the time traveling crystal blood making device that the Nazis supposedly had. That's Die Glocker.
You see, the shape doesn't match what they're showing us. It doesn't. Okay. It doesn't flare out at the bottom.
You're right. According to this, now this is just an artist rendering, I believe, of Die Glocker, but it does flare out the bottom there. I mean, but does it look bell shaped? Not really, because it looks like it just goes straight down.
Yeah.
As opposed to the artist rendering of Die Glocker, where supposedly it's bell shaped.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, that's supposedly the German super weapon that turns your blood to crystals and time travels. Sounds like the plot to the next Call of Duty Zombies game.
Yeah.
It kind of does. Now that I think about it, it kind of does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, all right, we'll pause it here. Adam, you're the skeptic of the whole group. You're the seeker of truth. What do you think of this?
Okay. according to the artist rendition of it, it's not. Okay. From looking at it at this particular picture, the sides are too straight. It's like someone just put like a bowl on the top, like a popcorn bowl.
Uh-huh.
on
Yeah,
top.
it kind of does. Yeah.
As to how it's flying, if it's real, I don't know how it's moving at all. There's just nothing there. So, and it's all very one color, one shade.
Yeah, but the
It looks,
lighting's also not that good either because it looks like it's the sun setting
yeah.
and the sun's in the
But
opposite direction.
But I mean, the only edges you can make out are around the outside. There's no definition on the inside whatsoever.
Right.
So
I'm actually going to go out on this one. I don't think this is extraterrestrial. The person in the article does say that hot air balloons get loose every once in a while. I'm seriously wondering if this is some kind of strangely shaped hot air balloon, and that's why it's moving the way it is.
If it got loose, maybe it detached from the basket after getting heated up, and then just took off until
maybe it's like it's a hot air balloon that's just it's deflating and it's slowly drifting back to Earth. It's just because of the speed it's going, it's creating the optical illusion where you can't tell.
Yeah, the only issue with that is it doesn't come down to a point.
No, it doesn't do that. That's one point, yeah.
You know, it could be a specialty balloon, maybe, but you know, there's just not really enough there to say that it is. You know, to say that it is a UFO. Yeah.
And then there's, of course, the Indiana Jones plot, Declocker, which I think we both agree it's probably more than likely not a Nazi superweapon that somehow escaped the Nazis.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting, but I don't think it's extraterrestrial. I think it's something terrestrial.
Yeah.
I think it's probably more than likely something that is an optical illusion of some type.
Yeah. I mean, to put something like that into a video where it just looks like it's still, it might go up and down, but it looks like it's just in one place.
Yeah, there you go. It's a flying porta potty. There you go.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is exactly.
It's like someone take a better picture of it.
Yeah, I mean,
anyone take a better picture of it. Give me a different angle. Something.
Here's my question about the whole thing, okay? We live in a modern day, and this has been brought up several times before. We live in an age where everybody has a cell phone. You have a cell phone probably next to you. I have my cell phone charging here. Cell phones are readily available. The cameras on them are still pretty good, regardless on whether it's iPhone or Android or something. You can't tell me only one person saw that and thought to videotape it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that always drives me nuts about like these UFO videos or Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra. It's always just one video.
And it's super grainy or not clear enough.
Right. It's always the videos that are just bad quality or they're way too far off. Or they have to push their phone's technology to the point where everything is, like you said, grainy. You know, I mean, obviously, people can't afford the latest and greatest cell phones these days, fresh off the market, unless you have a high-paying, six-figure job.
Well, I mean, okay, the phone I have, it's an S21 Plus. It is 3 generations old. And I could have gotten a better picture of what they were showing us. Now, There are older phones out there that have like 200 times digital zoom
Uh-huh.
stuff. And we're talking both iPhones and Androids.
Yeah.
Where are those phones? Do those people just because those people are interested in taking zoomed in photography. Where are those people? Why aren't they taking these shots?
Yeah. My phone is, let's see, my phone is a Samsung Note 10 or 13. I got it back in 2018. That's how old it is. I mean, this thing has this is the champ right here. I've ran this thing over with a forklift. I've dropped this thing in the pool, dropped it in the toilet multiple times, dropped it down the stairs. Dogs have buried it, and this thing can still take great photos.
Yeah.
Still can take great photos. And would but the point I'm making is like we gotta have like if something like this comes up, there's gotta be like at least somebody out there that has a better picture. Maybe somebody actually got a picture of what it is and it is extraterrestrial. And they're like, I'm not releasing this for the right amount of money. That happens. All right. Next one I got for Adam to look at. There's a lot of videos this week, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's get the Bigfoot alumni in here. Well, I want Bubba. I know Steve Stanton. He's a big Bigfoot believer. Let's get the Bigfoot alumni in here. A game camera photo in North Carolina is also now going viral because it shows a remarkably clear view of what appears to be, excuse me, a mysterious bipedal creature that some believe could be Bigfoot.
Okay.
The eyebrow-raising image reportedly emerged earlier this week by a Reddit post from an individual who claimed to have stumbled upon the picture online. Okay, so this is not their photo. This is a photo they found online. All right. Beyond the assertion that the photo was taken by a game camera in North Carolina, the circumstances surrounding the picture are shrouded in mystery, but that as it may be, the image has sparked considerable discussion online as to whether or not it is a genuine creature, and if so, what kind of weird creature is it? To that end, someone suggested that the odd animal in the photo may be legendary Bigfoot, possibly looking down in a fashion that obscures its head due to the creature's unusual legs. Others have posted it could be the infamous Dogman cryptid. Dogman.
Okay.
We usually call those werewolves, if I recall.
Now, I actually recently heard the story of how werewolves, that mythos came to be. In Europe, they had an overpopulation of wild wolves around cities. So, in order to keep people in, they would say that it was a wolf man. Then there were people who had syndromes that made them grow hair all over their face.
Yeah, that's a legitimate
Like
a legitimate syndrome this day and age. You guys have heard about that.
People with that syndrome started to get blamed for it because they looked like they could have been a werewolf. Now, the tales of werewolf attacks began to diminish when hunting parties started killing all the wolves in the area. There were no longer dead things. Had wolf bites or clawing and things like that. So, yeah, it just seems to coincide with the near extinction of a wild wolf in England or in Europe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and by the way, the condition that Adam is talking about is called hypertrichosis. Yep, there it is. Once again, Julie, right there, hit it on the head, right as I said it. Hypertrichosis. And if you don't know, this is what hypertrichosis is. It is a real condition. Look at that. A lot of that there looks very werewolf-like. Like if I didn't know, like this guy here particularly, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
I mean, a lot of the people in Europe didn't see these people until like the weird circuses would come into town
Uh-huh.
and the oddities would come around. So you were more likely to see a werewolf at one of these circuses than anywhere else.
Boy, that is such a weird genetic disorder.
Yeah.
Look at this poor baby here. Look at that poor baby. Dude, this whole family here has it. That's insane.
Yeah.
I wonder what they mentioned. The dog man, P.T. Barnum, had a father and son that had it. I've heard that P.T. Barnum had that.
Yeah.
My question is, what's the difference between the so-called werewolf and the dog man? But anyways, we're digressing from the topic.
Yeah.
I gotta show Adam this supposed Bigfoot picture, and we'll see what he says. And there it is. That's a weird ass photo.
I mean, do they have any pictures other than, slouched over?
No, it looks like that's the only photo they got.
I
mean, you can clearly see legs, obviously, but the legs are kind of weird.
The feet look very weird. Like
arm,
you can heel, you see where it contacts the ground, and then there's like really long toes.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And that tells me that either that's one very large foot or it's a small foot in a shoe or boot.
Uh-huh.
Like they're standing on the ball of their foot, but obviously the boot doesn't fit on their feet, so it just shows toes going forward while their heel is up in the air.
Yeah, it's really weird. Also, the position it's standing at is really weird too. Like you notice, even if it's slouched down, you would at least see part of the head.
Yeah.
I don't really see a head on this guy. Julie's even saying it's not a bear.
Yeah, it's telling me that it's probably a guy in a suit who just lowered his head so far down so that they couldn't see his head. So it just looks like a hump at the bow.
The shoulders are very rounded. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that they're very. You can't even see my mouse. The shoulders are very rounded from the way it's looking. It's almost like it almost kind of reminds me. The shoulders and the top part kind of reminds me of the shoulder pads that football players wear, NFL players.
Okay.
It's very rounded, almost shell-like. That's really interesting. The feet are, if he's got his head down and he's on the balls of his feet, that's a very uncomfortable position.
Yeah. But it's just, they only needed it just for the one picture.
Well, and that's another thing too. Trail cameras are mostly motion activated.
Yeah.
So there would have to be more photos of this. Like you would have to get a photo of this guy walking in the frame.
Would have to be. So that if there's only one photo,
yeah,
if someone was standing at the game camera, this guy walked out and stood still. The guy at the camera turned it on, and then they gave it a second, and then the guy just went like that.
Yeah.
Just enough to trigger it. Otherwise, there'd be a lot of pictures of this dude moving across, and that would help to determine whether this is true or not.
Oh, 100%.
If there's only one picture, no. Is it clearer than a lot of the Bigfoot pictures we've seen? Yes.
Yes.
But there's only one.
There's only one photo. Another thing, too, is for this thing supposedly being Bigfoot, it looks relatively short.
Yeah.
Unless this is like a juvenile Bigfoot or something like that, this thing looks just tiny. Because, like, look, I'm gonna guess this looks like maybe it's an elm tree or that looks more like it's oak. That's a pretty small. I mean, if you look at the size of this guy compared to the oak tree, like you figure Bigfoot. Everybody talks about how Bigfoot's this big, towering, the Titan gorilla hominid creature, but this thing looks almost like, yeah,
Look,
it's
this was like someone's tall friend. It's like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we did this? Like, okay, I guess.
the feet are also fucked up too. I mean, you mentioned the
Exactly.
feet. It looks like he's kind of standing on his tippy toes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this creature's slouched over, like they're claiming. But
Yeah.
if it was standing upright, I still don't think this would be the giant hominid everybody claims Bigfoot is.
Yeah. Because, yeah, this Bigfoot does not appear to be the size that has been established for an adult, And like you
Yeah,
said, it could be an adolescent, but there's not enough pictures there to be able to tell.
dude, look at the size of the legs on this guy, though. This guy has not skipped leg day at all. At first, I'm
Well,
sitting there thinking maybe this is a bear of some type, but
if this is a suit, it'll fit loosely around the calves.
yeah,
It goes down to the feet, especially if it's saying that, those feet are real feet.
yeah.
But, there aren't many animals that walk around with their heels up.
No, there's not.
Yeah. No.
That's why I see some people are saying, dog man, because dogs walk with their heels up like that.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. What are you thinking this is? What's your verdict?
I think it's a guy in a suit.
You think this is
It's
a
a
guy in a suit?
Yeah, it's a costume. Maybe they didn't have the hood for it, so he just bent his head down as far as he could.
It's a guy that went to a Halloween party dressed up as a wolf man, and he had too many drinks. He just happened to wander in front of the game camera, and the reason we don't see the other photos because he's throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, maybe. It
Yeah,
could just be two drunk friends who decided to do this. Like, hey, I bet you we can get a lot of money for this.
hey, I know where Johnny keeps his trail cam. Let's fuck with him. All right.
Yeah.
You got that? You guys still got that makeshift Star Wars cosplay outfit of the Wookiee? Yeah.
Let's take the belt off.
Take the head off; it'll be more noticeable.
Yeah.
That is so bizarre looking. I don't think it's Bigfoot. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but I would like there to have been more photos. Like if there were more photos of this so-called creature, I would be like, all right, I want to see those photos. But unfortunately, we don't see that. And that's a little bit of aggravation, in my opinion. Well, oh well. On to the next. That's 2 for 2 now. That's now two times we've agreed on it.
Before we go on to this next one, I need to go back to the TARDIS one. Okay. I took some time, looked at both of our phones at the cameras they have.
Right.
You can shoot 4K video on your phone. I can shoot 8K on mine. You mean to tell me that there's not a person who has a phone of our age or newer that can't record the details on this shadow thing at all? Nothing?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Show me a line down the side or something. It's just a shadow. It just floats.
I know normally we stick with serious topics on this one, but I do have to share this one. This is how I feel about the Bigfoot picture we just saw.
Bigfoot. Oh man, look at him.
That's white Bubba.
Bigfoot just left a piece of him on that gravel road.
Like I said, I know we talk more about I know we talk more about, serious topics here, but I kind of had to share that with them. Like, yeah, that's kind of similar to the photo here we're looking at here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a little break from videos real quick, and we're going to talk about the newest. What's that?
It looks like Bubba sent you something.
He sent me something. That's what it was. That's what he sent me. So what do you think is all right? So you know how every generation, when it comes to UFOs, there's the flying saucer, there's the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
UFOs have evolved throughout the decades. First, like I said, you had the flying saucers. Kenneth Arnold reporting seeing several flying discs near Mount Rainier. And then, of course, you had the 80s and 90s where it was all triangular. Well, now MUFON is reporting a brand new trend in reporting UFOs.
Okay.
And it's leading to the possibility that UFOs may have changed into something else besides the saucer or besides the triangle. Do you want to guess what kind of shape they're going with now?
I don't know. Rhombus. I don't know. A diamond. Dodecahedron. I don't know.
Well, phalanx. Phalanx. No, Julie, not phalanx. Get out of here.
What, phallic? Come on, Julie. Yeah.
How dare you? We are.
They fly up to Earth. Oh, they're excited about finding another planet.
How dare you? We are professionals here on this show. No penis UFOs. Well, now apparently there's a new trend going on where people are starting to report more and more jellyfish-shaped UFOs.
Jellyfish. Okay.
Right. So, and I want to talk about this because there is actually a phenomenon that kind of leans into this. There was actually a movie made. It wasn't.
You say there was a movie that had like alien jellyfish ships.
Nope.
No.
No. That's the name of the film. Nope. Okay. I'll explain here in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
There's been bizarre cases of jellyfish UFOs have come to light. Analysis Bob Spearing of MUFON recently spilled the beans to Associated Press. I think it's kind of cool how Associated Press picked this one up too, about these mysterious aerial objects. MUFON has studied drawings of them and photographs taken back to the 1970s of giant cloud-like mushrooms floating in the sky in Denmark. And there have been more recent sightings in places such as Vancouver. Fascinatingly, Spearing shared details of encounters with indoor alien jellyfish, like a case in Singapore where a woman was said to have been attacked by a squid-like object with bioluminescent tentacles. The creature, whatever it was, had attached itself to the back of the woman, and she felt searing pain, and that's what woke her up, he said.
Okay, so the jellyfish stung her.
Yeah, but apparently, according to this lady's report, the jellyfish was indoors in her house and not in the ocean, which that's kind of interesting there.
An assassin fish. Okay.
Yeah. Another account comes from a Nebraska police officer who claims that one day he was driving down the road and spotted an unusually metallic-looking object laying in the field next to the road. The officer got out, walked up, touched the side of the object, realized it was very gelatinous, and that's when it made a loud, gravelly, whale-sounding noise, at which point the large creature, as he said, which looked like a jellyfish, took off into the sky and disappeared lightning fast.
Okay.
That's kind of interesting there. So
does he have body cam footage of that?
That was from 1970, unfortunately.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, and this is interesting, okay? Because there is a film that came out in 2022. This is a film when I was saying nope, that's the name of the film. Nope. All right. It was directed by was it? Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele.
Okay.
He's like the modern day Alfred Hitchcock. His films are great. There we go. That's some of the screenshots.
Nope.
But nope, that's the name of the film. No, that's literally it. It was a decent film. I liked it. I was hoping it was going to be similar to UFOs, like I said, UFO, like a Skinwalker Ranch situation.
Okay.
But that's the creature in the film, or as they call it, Leatherjack. It starts out as a flying saucer and turns into this.
Okay.
So, and this actually is a phenomenon that's going on, and it's a possible theory that some people have about like what UFOs actually are. I'm trying to look for the actual saucer form of this thing. It starts out, it comes down, there it is. So see, there's a saucer.
Okay.
That's its first form when you see it. There's a better picture of it right there. That's when he's chasing it. You look at that and you're thinking, okay, this movie's about UFOs. This movie's about aliens. I love it. All right,
Yeah.
I want to see this Skinwalker, right? But then it turns into motherfucking 1990s anime final boss from a Final Fantasy game. Best way to describe that debauchery. So, but there actually is a phenomenon. I gotta look this up correctly so I can get this all down.
So what I thought of is actually Star Wars Episode 1 when they were going through the water. They were in a jellyfish-like submarine.
Ah, okay.
I thought of. It's not fictional, but still looked like a jellyfish type of deal.
So there
Kind of.
actually is. This comes from Cryptid Wiki. It's the best thing I can find. Atmospheric creatures.
Okay.
That's what this is believed. So there's a theory going around. Creatures like this, the jellyfish, even some things like I'm reading this off this page. Do not think I'm making this shit up. We're not going, like I said, Final Fantasy 1990s anime. There's also reports of skyfish. There's reports of sky whales. Pretty sure we'd see a whale at this point. And dragons.
Okay.
All right. Now, according to this, the theory is that Earth's upper atmosphere, we know, is home to thousands of bacteria. And according to some people, they theorize that the upper atmosphere, the stratosphere, has the
Let's
same.
see if this is what you're talking about. I just sent something to you in
see
Messenger.
What we got here?
It's from Cryptid Wiki.
Yeah, this is the same thing. The same thing I'm
Okay.
looking at right here. Well, it's somewhat the same thing, yeah. But supposedly the upper atmosphere is filled with bacteria, and they believe that there could be other animals up there to feed on the bacteria.
Okay.
And the theory, that's why some people claim that, some of these UFOs could be animals that live in our upper atmosphere. Now, I don't believe, this is actually the one theory I don't really believe in. There's several cases here on this website here. There's actually some pictures I'm going to pull up too. That's kind of cool looking. There's some pictures here where I'm just like, what is this? But the idea is that most of the creatures that live in our atmosphere could be jellyfish-like. Obviously, I don't think they're going to be like, space whale or sky whales or anything like that. We're not talking that stuff. A couple cases. Let's see. The Dutch flying jellyfish. I want to open this one up. This is an article about that case. The Queensane flying jellyfish. They all appear to be like European or Asian, which is interesting.
Yeah. The one I sent you was Norwegian.
Yeah. So here is one photo this website has. That looks like a jellyfish to me, but you can also see a tree in the picture.
Yeah.
That totally, to me, looks like a jellyfish of some type. And this photo was reportedly taken back in, let me see. We got the original one here. 1974.
Okay.
First known sighting of an atmospheric jellyfish when When first shown to the public in 1979, it soon became the object of intensive research, including the Danish military. So, yeah, people looked into this one. So that's actually one of the first photos. This one's really weird, too. Bring this one up so everybody can see it.
So this one I'm sending you right now is actually a picture from the New York Post.
Okay, there's that one there. You have to forgive the quality because it's zoomed in because the original photo is so tiny.
Yeah.
What did you send me? Yeah, this is one. I mean, this is a good one here. People have been talking about. I remember when this happened. People thought this was a missile being tested, and it turned into this thing here.
Yeah.
And there's another set. There's the one from Toronto.
Yeah.
Genesis said that God separated the waters and made the sky and sea. Guess it's possible. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. I saw this was a photo too. That's an interesting one. That's also the Dutch flying jellyfish. But yeah, there's people who believe that the possibility that a majority of the UFO sightings we're seeing are either that looks like it could be CGI there. A majority of UFO sightings
I
we're
sent
seeing
you one from Toronto.
from Toronto.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's Toronto?
Toronto aerial jellyfish.
There you go. There's the Toronto area jellyfish. I'll make it bigger. There we go. I mean, it's possible that there is some form of organism we haven't discovered that flies around the air. Could it be a jellyfish? Don't know. I'm not an expert.
It's a Metroid. It's a Metroid.
It's a Metroid. There you go. There you go. We cracked the case. Yeah, that's what it is. Jordan Peele's Nope was originally the first Metroid. There you go. Boom. Case solved.
It opens it up for Saran.
Yeah, that's how Samus Aran starts out. What's her name from the movie? Kiki, I think was in it. Kiki Palmer. She plays Samus. There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, so there's a lot of people who believe that a majority of the UFOs that we're seeing are either misidentification with like planes or aircraft or something like that, or it could actually be organic creatures we're seeing in the Earth's atmosphere that we haven't identified. Look at this one here. This is cool. That one's cool right there. You can see it.
Yeah. It's like you see something like that, but then I'll send you this one. It's like this one just kind of makes you think that someone wasn't really thinking. So you get that one, and jellyfish isn't what you think.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not
exactly what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna say a damn word, but
we'll let the audience see what they think. But my first thought, not jellyfish. Not jellyfish.
So where do you stand on the whole aerial jellyfish species or aerial creatures?
My opinion is that we can't rule that kind of stuff out. We hardly know much about our own oceans.
This is true.
So why should we claim to know everything about the sky? There's not really a whole lot of research that's been done. Usually if we're going through the sky, we're heading to outer space. These jellyfish would not exist in outer space. So just saying. It's just not out of the realm of possibility to me.
I don't know about this. I mean, obviously, this is a new phenomenon. It's a phenomenon that's happened. Like the rods, for example, they believe the rods are also atmospheric creatures. We had that phenomenon where people were photographing or videotaping these weird long creatures with wavy lines and all that stuff. Yeah. And there actually may have been a creature that existed like that millions of years ago, but the problem was that was in the ocean, not in the sky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who believe that this is a legitimate creature or phenomenon. The problem I have is that I don't know how well. It's one of those things I don't know much of.
Yeah.
You know,
Now,
the only reason.
This is what scientists are claiming it to be. And this is from it's reported in clickorlando.com. Jellyfish in the sky, SpaceX rocket launch creates. It's what is the jellyfish in the sky phenomenon? The effect is caused when light reflects off the rocket's exhaust plume in the atmosphere amid the evening hours after sunset. It creates a bulb-like effect in the sky, kind of like a jellyfish. And that was reported May 17th of 2024.
So maybe what people are actually seeing, it's not like a jellyfish, like an actual animal. Maybe they're seeing space junk fall in the atmosphere.
Either fall in or rockets escaping the atmosphere.
Yeah, because let's be honest, the world shoots up several satellites almost daily. We run out of satellites faster than hell.
Yeah.
And we've always got to replace them.
Yeah.
So maybe what we're seeing here is not really an organic creature or a UFO. Maybe it's space junk that's just giving off an optical illusion. I don't know. Like, this is the one area of cryptozoological or paranormal I know very little about. Very little. So, by the way, in case you're wondering what all the atmospheric creatures are reportedly and theorized to be,
Please tell me it's Falcor.
no, there's no Falcor, sadly. No Falcor.
Okay.
Atmospheric beasts are the strangest of the flying monsters from ufology, cryptozoology, and astrobiology. According to eyewitnesses, reports these are beings, apparently living creatures, but they break all the usual rules that the biologists apply to living organisms. They appear to be able to levitate without any speed. Or this comes off Cryptid Wiki as well. I'm just reading this so people get an idea.
Okay.
There are atmospheric jellyfish.
Okay.
Here's the article talking about the policeman I was mentioning earlier.
Oh.
This will actually. All right, so here we go. Many atmospheric beast sightings were originally classified as highly unusual UFO reports in the sense of UFOs being defined as supposed alien craft. Noted Bigfoot author Ivan T. Sanderson devoted an entire book to the theory that many UFOs are actually extremely low density animals native to the clouds. One of the most famous atmospheric beasts is the Crawfordsville Monster, sighted in 1891, which some researchers classify as a dragon. One policeman described an encounter with this creature that had supposedly been happened while bicycling. I can't read worth a damn night. Please forgive me. The thing felt soft like a blanket, and it smelled like mildew. After he rubbed up against it, it floated away. It was one of the most terrifying experiences he ever had, and he was convinced the thing was a living creature. In the Shetland Islands, atmospheric beasts are known as it and are thought to be cloud animals of some sort. Just as the sea has its own life forms, the atmosphere has its own life forms above us as well. Those who report being physically touched by atmospheric beasts say they felt as if they were being licked by an enormously soft tongue. All right, so what have we all got here? There are atmospheric creatures. I want to see what creatures there are. There are the jellyfish, sky serpents. Snakes are elongated serpent dragons that appear to float or fly. They are typically move in an undulating fashion or speed, like most Asian dragons. Let's see. Do we have? Because I know I read an article once where they claimed the rods are also supposed to be believed to be atmospheric creatures. See, look right here. The 2002 horror film Nope deals directly with the subject matter, though the prominent space creature nicknamed Jean Jacket, which takes the form of a UFO.
Okay. Nicknamed Jean Jacket.
Nicknamed Jean Jacket. Yeah. I did not make that name.
Yep. Because if you did, you'd want to get paid money for making that name.
Yep, somebody needs to pay me. Also, they say like some of these flying humanoids people see are supposed to be also like atmospheric beasts.
Ah.
See, that's an interesting picture there, but I don't think dolphins and whales with a F-16 in the back. No, I don't think that's like an atmospheric creature of some capacity. See that there's a rod. Everybody was saying the rod was like one of these supposed creatures. See, like I said, 1990s video game final boss right there.
Yep.
So I don't know, but that's a new thing. So now we're seeing an uptake in literally jellyfish UFOs. Maybe we're not seeing jellyfish UFOs. Maybe we're seeing some species of
atmospheric jellyfish.
An atmospheric jellyfish or something along those lines. Here is, and for those wondering what the Crawford monster reportedly looked like, this is an artist's rendition of what it supposedly looked like. That does look very much like a sea monster.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if this guy took a shroom first before drawing it. Same.
I think you were right on the whole Metroid thing. I think that is a Metroid boss, isn't it?
There is a snake-like boss in Super Metroid. I don't know that he actually looked like that, but
what was his name? I can't remember because I played Super Metroid left and right.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've played it, but I watched speedrunners run it.
Oh, so. I can't get into those speedrunners because they always glitch the game to get in there. It's like, dude, beat the game. If you're gonna beat the game fast, beat it to where.
No, you see, you just watch the ones where they run 100% completions or 100% map.
All right, so here's everything that's supposedly been reported. There are thunder dragons, gremlins, and sky sharks. And of course, you have the jellyfish. So I can see the thunder dragon being confused for, like, say, a whale.
Well, if by looking at the thunder dragon, it looks like it could also be confused for a really large seagull with a weird tail.
It could also be confused for a large bird. Do you notice the thing about aside the sky shark here? Now, for the record, I don't know anything about this, people, so don't think I'm trying to defend this. Outside the sky shark, the gremlin and the thunder dragon are very bird-like. And I get they're supposed to be in the sky. They have wings, right? But
yeah,
what's not to say that the reason people are claiming they see these supposed gremlins or thunder dragons is because of the fact that it's misidentification.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I don't know. Just interesting little thing. So if you see a UFO and it looks jellyfish-like, probably more than likely a atmospheric creature.
Yep.
All right, back to videos. Back to some more videos real quick for Adam. Another video that popped up this week. This actually popped up. When this popped up? This popped up last week, actually.
Okay.
Another video that popped up on social media. A peculiar piece of footage from Prague features a cube-shaped UFO that was spotted floating in the sky over the city. The puzzling sighting, which is said to have occurred Wednesday morning, was filmed by a witness who shared their video on Reddit. I get Reddit's supposed to be social media, but damn. You think if you got video of a UFO or something like that, you take it to the news. This huge white cube was rotating in the skies for about 5 minutes, they explained. According to the astounded observer, the odd object subsequently vanished in a moment before reappearing shortly afterwards. The sheer weirdness of the unusually shaped UFO understandably spawned an array of amusing theories for what it might be. Some have theorized it's a flying sugar cube. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, wait till you hear some of these excuses. Now, keep in
It's the
mind,
white Borg.
it's funny you should say that because one of the excuses in this is the Borg.
Okay.
Well, yep. A proverbial glitch in the Matrix, the Transformer Allspark. Son of a bitch. Well, shit, those things might come to life if that's legitimate. Meanwhile, a box kite or a cube-shaped balloon have been the explanations put forward by more down-to-earth viewers. That said, the nature of the aerial anomaly remains a mystery for now. And I've got the video right here. We're going to bring it up, and then we'll discuss after we review the supposed Borg ship.
Yeah. White cube in Prague.
Yeah, I'm getting feedback from something else. Hang on.
Okay.
All right, here we go. That was weird. Here we go. All right. Where's the Borg?
Yep.
There it is.
It's a pixel.
Son of a
There's a pixel out in the sky.
Oh, it is moving. You can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You come back so far and it just disappears.
Oh, that's what to do. Hi, Becky. How are you? So that's why they're saying it disappears because they zoom so far back and then it disappears. Got it. Okay, so we debunked that one.
Yep.
So yeah, obviously we debunked the whole it disappears and comes back because they zoomed out so far on their phone, it came out of focus. That ain't good for your case there about the floating sugar cube.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely something there, but
Yeah. It's whatever it was, it did spin while they were zoomed in on it. But as soon as they zoomed out too far, it just disappeared.
yeah. Now watch this. This is what he's talking about. See, it zooms out. It actually looks more like, and here's the thing too. It actually looks more like it moved off, but it's because he zooms out. See, boom, zooms out, zooms in. It's still there. He's creating an optical illusion with a cell phone.
Yeah.
But there is at least something floating in the sky there. What that is could be the Borg. Could be the
Like it kind of spins, but it doesn't look like it's moving forward or backward. It's staying in one spot, just rotating.
It does look, I will say this, because at this point here, it's interesting. Now watch when it rotates here, this side here. You see almost like a metallic glint.
Yeah.
Right there. So maybe it's made out of metal. It's probably made out of metal or some type of aluminum foil or some type of metallic substance, but it's got a glint right there. And the problem is that he zooms out, you don't really get that glint anymore. And then, what's going on? Oh, there it is. And it's back to being cube shaped.
If it just disappears when you zoom out, when you go to zoom back in, it shouldn't be there.
No, it shouldn't. It's not like the aliens are going to sit there and, oh, he zoomed back in. Get back into place. Get back into place. Get back into place. Oh, there we go. Mylar balloon.
That could be.
What's a Mylar balloon? Let's see what this is.
Think like a helium balloon you get at like Walmart. It's that
Okay.
metallic balloon.
Oh.
It could just be a square, and it's gotten to the point in the atmosphere where the helium won't let it go up any higher. Yeah, just like that. It's just more of a square shape.
Well, look, there's one right there that's square shape. Rectangular, but it's square shape.
Yeah.
There's another one right there.
Yeah, it shows proof of concept. They can make those square. It wouldn't be difficult. And at that far of a distance, you're not going to see where they blew helium into it. So it could just be a weather balloon.
Let's see. Can we? I wonder. Large Mylar balloons. How big these guys get? Okay, so there's one right there that looks literally like it sits on a sofa. So they can get made pretty decent size. Oh, it's not even sharing on this screen. Hang on. Look at the size of this guy here. This is, of course, off Temu, sitting right there on the sofa. So they can get pretty good sized.
Yeah, 32 inches in diameter, I'm guessing. So, about 3 feet wide. Roughly, that's 36 inches, so not far off.
Which that thing looks like. I'll bring that video back up. Where did that video go? Here it is. I think Julie's hit it. I truly think Julie's hit on the head, and she's got it. I personally think that's probably what that is. It's a Mylar balloon. Yeah. A very large balloon. And that would explain, because you see it there, you do see defined edges, but that could just be the balloon. But it's this point right here where you get a metallic sheen off of it because it's the light's glinting off of it.
Yeah.
That could be because it's made out of like that shiny aluminum material. And maybe the reason it's up there is because it got loose or someone let it go or something like that. But I think Julie's on this. I think she's right.
Because a Mylar balloon, when usually filled with helium only goes so high. It's not like it keeps going up into outer space. It goes up, and eventually the temperature and the resistance won't allow it to go any higher. So it'll stop rising.
Yeah. I think Julie's 100% right. I think that is a Mylar balloon. Good job, Julie.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Got a few more videos we'll get to, and we'll end the show for a night. Chicago itself has had a brand new mysterious creature in Lincoln Park's North Pond.
I was about to say, is it a politician that doesn't go to jail?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm pretty sure if you want to be a politician in Chicago, you've got to have a warrant for something.
Yeah.
A visitor in the park in Chicago has left people scratching their head at the site of a rather sizable mystery creature that briefly emerged from a pond. According to a local media report, the unidentified animal was observed last week by an individual strolling along the city's park. The creature in question was seen swimming in the North Pond and was described by eyewitnesses as something around 6 to 10 feet long and seemingly sporting a snout. Pictures of the puzzling creature have caused somewhat of a stir on social media, with many people wondering if the oddity itself in Chicago is an alligator.
It's like Nessie just took another vacation.
Yeah, Nessie just went to go see the Chicago. She went to go see the pier. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think, this time of year, an alligator could make it this far north, but the question remains as to why would it get this far north?
Yeah. I'd imagine the water's being pretty cold still.
Yeah.
It'd be quite a journey.
With such a scenario, While such a scenario might sound unfathomable, it's not entirely out of the question. As an alligator was plucked from a pond in a different Chicago park back in 2022, the creature, delightfully dubbed Chance the Snapper, became something of a local sensation before being sent to Florida for its friendlier climate. Alas, those hoping to see the mysterious animal in Lincoln Park Pond might be the proverbial second coming of the celebrity of the reptile from a couple of years have had their hopes dashed by the city's Department of Animal Control. Public Information Officer Armando Telia indicated the department looked into the case after receiving multiple calls about the curious creature as the word of the weird sighting spread online. The mystery creature turned out to be something else that lived as a constellation with Chicago Herpetological Society. So, do we want to see what this creature could have been?
Sure.
There is a news report on it. And then we'll discuss it because I've already got my theory as to what this is. I already saw what it is, but I'm keeping quiet on it.
Animal Care and Control has cracked this case. And while wishful thinking led some to believe we'd be getting a sequel to Chance the Snapper, turns out officials say this is simply a surfing turtle.
I mean, this is Chicago. You never know what you're walking into.
And in Lincoln Park's North Pond, you never know what may emerge from the water.
The pictures that we had, it kind of looked like a snout sticking out of the water. It did look like a huge, long body.
For Armando Tejeda, it was an eventful Friday after getting a few calls asking if he'd heard anything about an alligator in the North Pond.
There's a lot of wildlife in the area, but this was big. This was like something that was between like 4 to 6 feet that he saw.
The public information officer with Chicago Animal Care and Control rallied his team and put boots on the ground.
We walked the perimeter a couple times, kind of checking the banks, checking the mud to see if there were any dragging marks or maybe some prints in the mud. We didn't really see anything, though.
That's when he called in the Chicago Herpetological Society.
They're the reptile experts.
And within minutes, these photos were, well, debunked.
It was actually, for lack of a better term, a turtle surfing in the water.
Thriving with wildlife, including fish, ducks, and turtles like this smaller one we spotted within minutes of arriving. It seems this larger turtle was just having a bit of summer fun.
It was something different, and it was a learning experience for the people that were with us, too.
As for the reptile riding that rogue log, a board member with the Lincoln Park Conservancy shared this video of the massive turtle she believes caused, so many questions.
All right, how big is this thing?
Now, this month marks the 5-year anniversary of...
Oh, that's the supposed turtle right there.
You know, this joke is right up your alley, Tyler. It's Gamera.
It's not yet. I don't know. The photos they got there, they're a little big. They're a little big compared to this picture here. I think that if it is a turtle, this guy here and this guy here are completely different, I think. I thought, until I watched the news report, I thought it was going to end up being, because they said it was a turtle, so I'm thinking, well, somebody took a turtle from the beach or down south in Louisiana, Skeletor, and brought it up as a pet and decided they didn't want the son of a bitch anymore, and they dropped it off here.
Yeah.
Gamera is a friend to all children. Yeah, but in this day and age, that kind of shit will get you 9 to life.
Yeah.
I had to. That's the big joke about Gamera. No, they don't do that shit. So yeah, a turtle. I think that's interesting though, because that's a pretty good sized turtle there, man. Like that video they showed.
That is a healthy sized turtle.
Yeah, that video they showed is nothing compared to the pictures that we saw that they put up. That's a big ass turtle.
It's like Michelangelo's taking a vacation from the sewers, going to surf in Chicago.
Yeah, too much Mystery Science Theater 3 times. I know. That's where you got most of it. By the way, for those of you wondering what the rods were for atmospheric creatures, my brother sent this in. That is one that is supposedly a rod. They think that's an atmospheric creature. I think that's some kind of. The theory is that these are glitches in the cameras. These are camera glitches. It's an optical illusion, but some people claim these are actual real animals. But still, getting back to the turtle, that's a pretty good sized turtle.
Yeah, it was.
That's a good sized turtle, guys. Yeah, Julie's right. That's another argument with the rods. It's a flying bug. I gotta take care of something for Susan real quick, and I'll be right back. So sorry, Adam.
Oh, no problem. All right. So, listening audience, I'm glad to see you guys here. First off, send us some of your guys' subjects that you want us to research and look up for you guys. We'd love to hear stuff. Of course, Bubba, you send us stuff regardless, and it's great to have you as a researcher. But yeah, totally. Send us your ideas. We'd love to hear them, either to Tyler, myself, or Rob. Yeah, we'd all love to hear it. Maybe one of you can actually get a picture of a UFO that I won't think is a drone. But we'll see. Send them anyway. We'll find out. Maybe you can send us that clear picture of a cryptid that we need to see, whether it's Bigfoot, whether it's, Nessie somewhere on the planet, whatever. Send us anything we can really bite into, really get our hands into and explore.
Oh, are you asking the public, the audience, to send in some? That'd be really cool, I think.
Absolutely.
That'd be really cool.
If we have a whole force of people who can just give us questions, let us do some footwork, or do some footwork and bring it to us. And we'd love to share it. Pictures, stories, stuff you heard about, maybe seems a little far-fetched. Bring it to us. We'd love to get those type of responses from our listeners.
Yes, we would. I think it'd be really cool if we had like some fan submitted stuff too. Like some fan submitted articles maybe we missed.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm
going
going
to give Bubba his props at being a researcher. It's like other listeners are more than welcome to do the same.
Yeah.
Just let you, me, or Rob know. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Well, I got another video that came out last week. I don't know if you and Rob talked about this. Brazil's been a hot spot for UFOs lately.
It sounds familiar.
UFO landing gear sighted over Curbida in Brazil.
Okay. The name of the city isn't exactly ringing a bell, though.
The clear video.
We'll see.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring it up. Oh, let me read it real quick. A rather fantastic piece of footage from Brazil provides a remarkably clear look at a flying saucer spotted hovering in the sky. The curious scene is said to have been filmed this past Sunday in the city of Curitiba. We're just going to call it Curitiba because I can't read or speak. I barely know English. Sharing their video online, the bewildered witness mused that I never believed in UFOs until seeing the strange black saucer-shaped object, initially suspecting that the aerial anomaly could be a drone. They indicated that the apparent lack of any propellers caused him to dismiss that theory. Similarly, the witness observed that the object seemed to move in a straight line, which made them doubt it was a flying saucer or a balloon. They also know the UFO appeared to sport some type of landing gear, though the detail is hard to discern from the video despite its strikingly clear view of the curious craft. While the witnesses may have dispelled that with the notion that the flying saucer was a drone or balloon, skeptical viewers will undoubtedly point to those two prosaic possibilities as an explanation of the object. So, This is supposedly video of a UFO with landing gear. And let's see. There you go. Oh,
Sorry. Sorry. No, no, actually, we did look at this, obviously not last week, but the week before.
Oh, so you guys have looked at this?
Yeah, but if you look at the shape, it's really a unique shape.
It is.
And honestly, I couldn't figure out how they're doing it. Rob referred to it as like an all-seeing eye, possibly, because it does have an
and now that you say that, I just spotted the all-seeing eye. I'm like, oh, shit.
So, but my thought is they had like a rotating fan blade on top and a rotating fan blade on bottom, and it was clamped together from the bottom up. So the center is the motor, and then they can make it spin as, as much as they want. But that's a really odd way to build a drone.
So you're saying this is a drone?
No, I'm just saying if it was, I don't really think it is. I don't know what it is, but because I do doubt it's a drone. I don't know what it is instead. And no, sweetheart, it's not the Eye of Sauron. That looks different. It's more like a tiger eye. I love you, though. Please don't make me sleep on the couch.
It's not flaming, for God's sake. So Come on, Julie. You get one right, and all of a sudden you think you can get them all right.
But no, if someone was building it as a drone, which I haven't seen anyone build a drone like this before. That's just what I think. It'd be like two fan blades on top of each other with the motor in the middle coming up. Oh, I get the garage. Thank God I have a place to sleep out here.
Well, it's like you're saying, why would they build a drone like that?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it.
I don't have a good explanation as to what else it could be.
I'm going to say it.
What's so great in Brazil?
I'm going to say it. Well, there's the Varginha case in Brazil, which was Brazil's version of Roswell, where a UFO crashed and the aliens are running around the village. I'm going to say it. I think this is a legitimate alien spacecraft. I think that's legitimate. Because
I can't argue against it. I don't have enough.
Yeah, that's one problem about. Sorry, go ahead, man.
So I just don't have enough evidence to argue against it or for it. I mean, I know that I can say pretty confidently it's not a drone. Now, someone may have come up with a design that I don't know about, and that's fine, but it's not any drone I've seen. And I think when Rob brought it up, I think I looked it up on Google, like shapes like that, and there's just nothing out there. So I can't argue against it.
Right. I think in this case, considering the shape of it, it's kind of hard. I mean, it's a UFO, an unidentified flying object, whether it's alien or not. But the question is it extraterrestrial? And I'm going to say that looks like I don't know any craft.
Is it extraterrestrial or is it interdimensional?
Yeah, that's the big question they're going with nowadays. It's like, because everybody's saying it's extraterrestrials. You have some congressmen saying extraterrestrials. And then when we had Ray Lytle on the show a couple months back, he talked about the case of the congressperson referring to them as interdimensional. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say this. It's not human. I think it's not human. I think this is...
It's not known human.
Right.
Julie said it could be a military craft, that it could be a prototype of something. Yeah,
that's a possibility.
But we don't know. If it is a military craft, it's classified so we wouldn't know. So
And there has been, the U.S. has dabbled in military aircraft that was saucer shaped before. For example, the Flapjack.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the Flapjack. It was a, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. It had a propeller on it, correct?
yeah,
It had a propeller, but it was also saucer shaped.
hmm
And the idea was it was a quick maneuvering plane that can get up off the ground, didn't need wings, but also they couldn't really maneuver this thing worth a damn, so it was scrapped.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was the ship in and of itself was just one wing, but they
Yeah.
didn't give it a way to turn. There weren't like flaps or anything like that. So, okay, great. You can get up, you can go straight. Awesome.
Yeah, that's it. Good luck landing. Good luck landing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. Flying Flapjack plane. I'm going to show everybody what this thing looked like because I don't think a lot of people. Yeah, here it is. This is the Flying Flapjack. There's only like, I think there's a few prototypes left. So I know one of them's in the St. Louis Museum. The Vought V173, aka the Flying Flapjack. That's one of the only planes. There's a few others I know of. It's a VTOL. It was an earlier concept for a VTOL, but who designed that? Who designed that? They designed that because they were trying to convince us that what we were seeing was a flying flapjack and not a UFO. Or
There's not enough wing at the back with mobile rudders to really steer that plane.
no, there's not. It was an interesting concept, but poorly executed.
Yeah.
Just poorly executed. But no, I think in the case of that video we just saw, it's one of those things where, unless, like your wife says, it's a military aircraft that's being tested, I'm going to say that's got to be extraterrestrial, interdimensional, whatever. It's alien.
Yeah. And I have no rebuttal for it.
Yeah,
So
that one's.
There you go, Tyler. You won.
I got one. I got one. I got one. I got one. I got one alien.
But let me remind you, Rob showed it first.
Well, I won. I don't care.
You take a win where you can get a win.
I can take, when it comes to you and you trying to explain this or that, I can take a win whenever I can. That is my win. All right. I have one more piece of footage for tonight, and then we'll get off. We'll log off for a night.
Okay.
All right. So as of late, a lot of crime scene photos, videos, a lot of investigators have been using AI to clear up a lot of old cases.
Okay.
And find more and new evidence in regards to some things. Now, it was about a couple months back we talked about how this one guy used AI to supposedly show that the Vegas UFO crash landing that supposedly happened, according to him and AI, there was actually aliens there.
Okay.
I still think that's BS. Rob even thinks it's BS.
Yeah.
Adam even said they were stretching for a long one, if I recall.
AI can do whatever you ask it to do. But that makes our job here at Weird Frequencies a lot more difficult.
Oh, it does.
Look too realistic, then it's probably AI.
Yep. Well,
sounds.
So a photo of a small alien entity said to have been taken in the 1930s was recently AI enhanced by UFO researcher and analysis Scott Waring. Scott Waring was not the person who did the Las Vegas thing. That was someone else. Who did that? I'm going to look that up real quick. I want to make sure it's not the right guy because it sounds like it could be. It wasn't. I don't think it was Scott Waring. Las Vegas alien crash video. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Was it Scott Waring? No, it was not. It was Scott Rotter.
Okay.
Still a Scott, but this is Scott Waring. So, all right. This 1930 picture of an alien, supposed alien entity, was enhanced by Scott Waring. According to the person who sent the original image to Waring, his grandfather saw the entity, estimated to be 3 feet tall, in a remote area of Alaska, and chased after it until he was close enough to capture an image.
Okay.
He used AI to enhance the original image and conjectured that the eerie white color of the alien could have been a type of containment suit that it was wearing.
Okay.
Further, it may have been a kind of blurring technology to evade security. So we've heard this mentioned a couple times, the possibility that aliens could use technology to hide themselves from
Like a cloaking.
like a type of cloaking device.
Yeah. Not invisible, but unrenderable.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to see the video that Scott Waring has created. You're going to see, here's the original photo of what looks like the alien. And we're going to go through the process real quick. So there he clears it up using AI. There's the original photo. Okay, now it's going to zoom in. I've honestly never seen this photo. Okay, so there's the AI enhanced photo. He's clearing it up more and more, wiping it back and forth. So there's the original photo that he supposedly received from this gentleman in Alaska.
Okay.
Now let's get to an actual clearer image. Oh. All right, so back and forth. So what he's doing is he's moving the AI filter back and forth so it can clear up the image more and get the graininess and buffer it. It's kind of like painting. It's like painting a car, for example. So there we go. I think that's probably about as good as it's going to get. Does it? That's a pretty good shot right there.
So we can't just say that this is just a small Inuit person who was wearing like a fur on him to keep the snow off him?
No, well, I don't think we can. But honestly, I'm looking at it. I know it's AI enhanced. The AI enhancement does nothing to show that something's there. It shows there's an object there. Okay, it shows there's definitely a being of some type. But even the AI is having a hard time trying to make it look enhanced.
AI is just saying, "Hey, man, I can't lie for you."
AI saying, "Hey, my dude, my dudes, I don't know what the hell this is. It's a gingerbread man."
Yeah. I mean, it obviously casts a shadow. So there is something there.
Yes.
But the enhancements aren't really helping. I mean, yeah,
No.
it takes the grain out with every pass, which is cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool that it takes the grain out, but here's the problem with AI, and Adam, back me up if I'm wrong here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but AI is not really taking the photo and restoring it to what it looked like the exact moment that this guy's father took the photo.
Yeah.
AI is like trying to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, it's trying its best to create or to clean up the photo, but in its algorithms and stuff like that, there's only so much it can do. So you're asking it to correct over corrections And it's a lot like when a person is trying to translate something from a language when it was taken from like a different language that was taken from a different language that was taken from a different language. You're like
Yeah.
5 translations in from the original when you should have just translated from the original. A dwarf in a ninja suit.
That's
Okay.
not no dwarf in a ninja suit, for the love of God. It definitely shows something's there.
Yeah.
Now, this image here, when he goes back over the filter again, if you go, okay, right there. That I think is the best one because it does clear up a lot of the graininess
Yeah.
without distorting the shape. Because later on, you notice that the thing looks more paper-like.
Yeah, and it lost a leg somewhere along the line. And
Smeared too, which is interesting. But then again, this also coincides with his claim that this thing could have had technology to blur out cameras.
but I mean, technology's only so good. There is such a thing as overcorrection.
Which I think in this case, this is what's happening is this is a huge overcorrection because
He-
now you can't
he's
tell
trying-
what the hell it's supposed to be.
Yeah, he's trying so hard to see what he wants to see, and he's hoping AI will give it to him. And I don't think he's going to get it, but he's going to keep trying.
I think if you're going to use AI as some type of investigative tool of some type, surely you could do better. In my opinion, surely you could do better with that. Because it's like
don't record it and show everyone first. Make sure it's going to show you what you think it should show. Then show it off.
well, excuse me. The big thing too is it's like he's going over it back and forth so much. It's like he wants to make it look as alien as possible.
Yeah. But eventually it goes from looking like it has 2 alien eyes to just one unibrow.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like, okay, it went from having eyes to just one massive eye. Great, you made it a cyclops.
Good job, dude.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is this a real photo or is it?
Oh, it's the 1930s photo is real. I think AI was used too much.
Do you think that photo, the original photo, showed an alien in it?
No, I don't. I want to say that it was a short Inuit person in like a polar bear type outfit to keep the snow off them.
I think it looks more like it could be just a doll.
A doll? Okay.
A doll that somebody. I'm not saying this gentleman's wrong. This could be actual alien photo, but I think it might be a doll because the photo like this kind of harkens back to all the biggest controversial stuff like the surgeon's photo for Loch Ness or the Patterson video for Bigfoot, where people still claim it's not Bigfoot, even though they've done thousands of research on that video. They claim it's not Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a very interesting little situation. Very interesting overuse of AI.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, AI can give you what you want to see, but if you're trying to have it correct a very old picture, it may not do what you want it to do. It's just filling in the gaps of what it thinks.
Yeah. Well, and the big thing too is all over social media, people are claiming that Kamala Harris is Now, I've seen a couple of these photos. We're not getting too political on the show. I'm pretty sure we seem to be neutral, like on my show. But there's people who claim that a lot of photos that came from rallies that Kamala Harris has held recently, especially after that horrible VP pic she chose. My God, you had millions of people, and you got the one that makes Trump look like, he's an innocent angel. Because all of a sudden he gets nominated. I'm like, who's that? And immediately we start hearing he's a draft dodger, or he's stolen valor. It's like, oh, Kamala, you just messed up.
Well,
but they're claiming
you're talking about Tim Walz. He actually has 24 years of military experience.
Right, but he also claims that he was deployed. He was also claiming he carried weapons, and a lot of people are. His military career has been very sketchy, and the best way for him to squash it is to just come out and not admit. I mean, if he's wrong, he's wrong, but come out and verify everything he did, and say that's what I did.
It's like, this is what I did. This is where you can go to fact check it.
Yes, exactly. But the problem is that he's also supposedly there's a lot of people that stirred with him saying, oh, well, he knew we were getting deployed. He just retired right before the deployment. And then there's people who are also saying that a lot of these Kamala Harris campaign videos and pictures of her rallies are all AI videos.
You see, I've heard people say the same about Trump, that he's maybe not rallying in front of as many people as he claims. Now, he may rally in front of a lot of people, and that's fine. But there's a lot of that going on both sides. And AI can fill that gap for them. As much as it sucks to say that, now
AI is being corrupted, in my opinion.
Yep. So,
well, we've been on for 2 hours. Holy crap. We've had some people actually stay with us the whole 2 hours. Hardcore.
Yeah. We appreciate those who have.
Yep, we certainly appreciate every single one of you who stuck with us and been popping in, out, and watching. Obviously, we didn't get into all the paranormal news, but we'll get to more eventually, and we got to the ones that seem to be the biggest and the most headline breaking. So
yeah,
I think it's time we get out of here. Some of us got work in the morning. I am thankfully off.
There is one thing I'll say before we go, and it's regarding what we were talking about at the end about politics and stuff. We're not going to slant either way. Just go do your research and vote the way you believe you should.
Exactly.
Put in the time. It's worth it. And vote appropriately for you.
Yep, 100%. Textbook. Very good answer. Very good.
People shouldn't hate each other for how you vote. Just vote the way you believe is correct. And do your research, please.
Yeah, this political dogma in this country right now is horrible. Absolutely horrible. I have friends who are liberals. I have friends who are conservatives. Me personally, my political stance is I hate both. I hate Harris. I hate Biden. And I hate Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much look at it like there's not a good way out of this election. There's not.
It's really not, no, but
have Alice Cooper run for president.
Yeah, Alice Cooper be a good one. But
hey, is Will Hite hunting for a VP? Alice Cooper? Maybe.
You never know. You never know. I'm sorry, I'm just yawning. I
okay.
feel like the political dogma this country's having. Look, okay. If you vote for a president who turns out to be a complete piece of shit, I'm not going to blame you or get mad at you because you voted for Trump or you voted for Biden or Harris or RFK. No. I will, however, blame the president, the person run his country, for being such a stupid dumbass, which, let's be honest, real talk, we've kind of had a dumbass for the past 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when your vote is for Dumb or Dumber or Evil and Evil, there's not a win there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'd like to see younger candidates go in than 80 or 84. So come on, we don't need guys who are on the verge of nursing home. We don't.
Yep.
We don't need people who need assistance on standing. We don't need people who don't know how to properly use social media.
Oh, yes.
So, if you don't know how to use a PR guy while you're running for president or during your presidency, don't be a president. Don't do it, because you shouldn't really say much outside of what your script writers tell you, or speech writers, or whatever. Just stay off of social media.
I personally believe that, if anything, Donald Trump's tenure as president and Joe Biden's tenure as president has taught us two requirements for president going forward. Number one, delete your fucking social media. Get off Twitter, get off Facebook, get off X, Instagram. And number two, for the love of God, know how to climb some stairs.
Yeah.
Have a coordination test. They need...
Yeah, there needs to be like an agility test and
eye
test and a cognitive ability test.
Yes, that should be 100% a requirement. Yes.
And I think they need to put an age cap on how old you can be to be the president.
Oh, yeah.
And it needs to be like 70.
It does.
40, I think, was it 42, 45 is the youngest. And then you have up to 70 as that top. So if you get in right at 70, you're going to be 74 when you're done. And just be done. Just be done.
Yeah, I think, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden, but do I feel that I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden, but do I feel he's too old to do the job? Yes. Is that a bad thing? No, because it's like, for example, let's say, for example, I break my arm. I can't do the show because I got to type all this out and look up stuff, and I'm doing it one-handed. He'll always go down as the 46th president. That's for sure. Nobody will take that away from him. It's just the man needs to consider he's 81 years old. Had he not dropped out of the election, he would have been 86 by the time he's out of the White House.
Yeah.
The guy needs to go home, put his feet up, retire, spend time with your kids, spend time with your grandkids.
Yeah, or even great-grandchildren by 80, 83, 82. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I truly feel should happen. So, all right. I think we've talked enough about politics. We talked more about politics, which, by the way, that's a hoax. It's all a hoax. Let's get out of here. Let's get the music queued up. Well, tonight we learned Bigfoot apparently looks like a teenager. He even got in the cornfield or the forest. I can't remember.
Yeah, apparently Bigfoot is Quasimodo's older brother. And just wanders around the forest, but, whatever.
Yep. We also learned that if you're going to take videos of UFOs, particularly floating TARDIS, for the love of God, make sure your camera on your cell phone is up to par for those long distance shots you got to get.
Yeah. It's like everyone's camera can do it.
Yeah. I mean, I know most of the night we covered most of UFOs, a little bit of Bigfoot, but that was all in the news. And we also learned about atmospheric creatures.
Yeah.
How we may end up actually having space whales, like off Star Wars.
Yeah. Like, don't pet that jellyfish.
Yeah, don't pet that jellyfish. That jellyfish, if I remember from the movie Nope, if you looked at the animal, because it had a sensor to detect when you looked at it, it ate you.
Oh, yeah, good reason not to.
Yeah, Nope was a good movie. I love Jordan Peele. He, like I said, he to me is a modern day Alfred Hitchcock. He has a great job. So, well, Adam, where can people catch you next?
All right, well, the next show I'm going to be on is Thursday night, 11:30 p.m. for Amigos After Dark. The more uncensored version of Mayhem's Amigos. And next Sunday, you can meet me for Mayhem's Amigos and Weird Frequencies.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Now, how about you, Tyler? When can we next see you?
Well, next time you'll be seeing me is on the Best Damn Podcast. We just announced in honor of the Illinois Times voting that's come out.
Okay.
I'm planning on going through the entire... Julie says the Northern Lights are visible. Ooh, we might have to end the show. Northern Lights of the Perseid meteor shower? Hell yes.
Take some pictures, Julie.
Take some pictures, Julie.
Yep.
We are going to start interviewing some of the Illinois Times nominee contenders. Now, remember, this is the nominee contenders. Eventually, these guys will be narrowed down to like a top 5, and those will be your nominees, and you have to choose from there.
Yep.
So, obviously...
Don't forget to vote.
Yes, don't forget to vote. The Best Damn Podcast is currently... I don't know if Rob wants me to share the link in here.
Maybe we shouldn't. At least for now. Until we know otherwise.
Yeah. I'll just leave it off till I ask him, and I'll make sure to definitely nominate Weird Frequencies so they can get some love. Get some love for Weird Frequencies. But we got a couple interviews coming up tonight. I just scheduled, and I'm getting ready to announce it here after the show. I'm going to be sitting down live with Jonathan Reese and Heaven, the hosts of the podcast Ope a Ghost, on August 31st. And on August 17th, I'll be sitting down with Casey, the host of Nefarious Escapades. And we're going to talk to both these guys, get some recognition to them, congratulate them on getting in there onto the Illinois Times vote. Maybe get them on a little charity contest the Best Damn Podcast is holding itself, which I'm going to probably talk to Rob about that.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. And I'm planning on reaching out to other podcasts. Of course, Ray Lytle's Born Disaster. K-Pop Kimchi said no.
Okay.
They're
still bitter about last year.
Yeah, they're still bumming about last year. It's like, I said, well, we kind of knocked you down. We kind of beat you guys. You were dead last, but what can I say? But yeah, I'm trying to reach out to all these podcasts and get them on, give them some attention, get their names out there, and maybe we'll get them some. Maybe we'll get like a little friendship pact or something going on here. Yeah. I listen to that.
I would love to see a collaboration between Weird Frequencies and Opa Ghost about a ghost hunt.
I think that'd be a cool one. I think if it works, I might lean to these guys like, hey, I'm also co-host of a paranormal show. If you guys want to come on, and we could ghost hunt and all that shit. So Becky says she listens to Opa Ghost. It's a good one. Well, I listened to an episode today while I was on break. It sounded very good. Very good. So, but yeah, August 30th, you heard it right here. I haven't even announced on the Facebook page. August 31st, I'm going to be interviewing the cast of Open Ghost on the Best Damn Podcast. And August 17th, we'll be interviewing the cast of Nefarious Escapades. And I'm looking forward to both of those. I think it's going to be a fun interview.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, hopefully Rob will be back next week. Again,
if not, Tyler and myself will keep this ship flying.
Yep, we'll
until
keep the ship
Rob can get to
going.
the captain's chair.
Yep. Don't forget to vote in the Illinois Times Best Podcast Award. Best podcast. Vote for the podcast you believe is the best one and deserves it the most. The best of Central Illinois.
Yeah.
As somebody who's on that list and has lost to Ray Lyle's War Disaster multiple times, I'm not going to sit there and bash it and say you shouldn't vote for him, but I'm just going to say you want to vote for me because I'm friendly. I don't know. I can't. I don't want to sound like a dick to the War Disaster crew, but good luck to everybody. That's all I'll say. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck to everybody. Vote for who you want to vote for, whether
Exactly.
it's Ray or Tyler or any of the other podcasts that you can vote for. And may the best or may the highest voted podcast win.
Very well done and very nice recovery of my screw up. So I don't want to.
Why didn't you guys vote for me? Here on Weird Frequencies. Couldn't get me in.
Sorry.
Okay. It's all right. I don't do it to get the award. I do it because it's fun and I get to spend time with friends.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yep.
Oh, well. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good weekend. Stay safe. Go outside. Remember, the Perside meteor shower is going on tonight at midnight. Also, we heard from Julie herself. She said, and she's in Taylorville, the northern lights are visible. So this might be the best time to see the Perside meteor shower. Northern lights and a meteor shower. This sounds awesome. This sounds awesome for you astronomy buffs. All right, everybody. Well, on behalf of Hardcore Rob Hansen, that is The Secret Truth, Adam, and I'm the American T-Rex, Tyler, reminding you to rush that monkey, probe that alien, fish that sea monster, and
don't touch that jellyfish.
Yeah, don't touch that jellyfish. Do not touch that jellyfish. And we will see you all right here next Sunday for another. Now, the YouTube page was up today. Hopefully by next week, you'll have the Facebook page up too, so you guys start watching on Facebook. But until then, we will see you guys on next week's episode of Weird Frequencies. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
And the stream is ending, right?